Hello all you beautiful people and lovers of food! Today I'm going to be making a Mulva pudding. My name is Vivian and I am your easy chef. Mulva pudding is one of these traditional South African desserts which I love. It is sweet, it is sticky, it is gooey, it is good, and it's so delicious that the world needs this recipe. So let's get baking. I've heard a lot of people who aren't South African relating Mulva pudding to sticky toffee pudding. I think I can see why they think that, but I think a Mulva pudding is a little bit less dense, a little bit lighter, and to me, tastes a little bit better. How we're going to start is we're going to start by making a little bit of a buttery, sugary mixture with some apricot jam. Once this is made, we mix it in with our dry ingredients and add our milk. Then put it in the oven for 30 minutes to bake. It is pretty easy, let's be honest. We want to put some butter over a medium heat. With our butter, we're going to add our apricot jam. We're going to add some sugar. And then we're also going to add a little bit of white vinegar. I like to stir this until it's incorporated before I add anything else, just so that I can make sure that my sugar doesn't crystallize. Then I add my milk. This I stir until it is all nice and combined, and you really want all those sugar granules to melt. So this is the sort of texture we're looking for. We're looking for all that sugar to be melted, and then we can let it cool, and now we can add it to our other wet and dry ingredients. We take our flour, some salt, and bicarb of soda, and that is our dry ingredients. For our wet ingredients, we have 1.5 cups of milk and 2 eggs. And we just stir this up so that they're nicely incorporated, and the reason we do this is we don't want to overwork our flour. And now we combine everything together. We've got our nice syrupy, buttery, sugary mixture, which we're going to put in some of our flour. We're going to sieve it in nice and finely so we don't have any lumps, and then we're going to add some of our wet ingredients just so that you're not overworking your flour. You're getting a nice batter and then slowly building it up. This also, I think, helps avoid lumps, and really it's a nice technique for making a lot of cakes and pastries, just to do a little bit of mixing so that some of your flour is still very, very fresh, even if some of it has been mixed a little bit longer. Just a little bit of patience here, and really your batter will be perfect. I've just taken a whisk to make sure that there are no lumps, but guys, if you don't have a whisk and you just want to use a spoon, this will still turn out quite well. This is the consistency we're looking for. It's got a nice, not too thick and not too runny consistency, almost at this ribbon stage. Now we're going to put it into our greased baking tin, put it in the oven for 30 minutes at 180 degrees. For our syrup, we're just going to melt some butter, sugar, golden syrup, water, and vanilla in a pot. And then as soon as our Mulva pudding is out of the oven, we're going to quench it with our syrup. And it's going to soak up all of that syrupiness, and it's going to just be perfect. Over a medium heat, we want to just put a little bit of boiling water, sugar, quite a bit of butter, and some golden syrup with our vanilla essence into a pot. Look, it might have been a bit easier for me if I had cut my butter into smaller blocks. It would have melted a little bit faster, but we got there in the end. So we have our syrup nicely bubbling away. It's going to bubble away for about 5 minutes, and then hopefully the timing works out. Our Mulva pudding will come straight out the oven and we can douse it in our syrup. You want your Mulva pudding to have a nice golden brown color on, which ours does. It can even get a little bit darker than this. It really isn't an issue. And then we're going to pour our syrup on. What can help to make this process a little bit easier and a little bit faster is to poke a whole bunch of holes into your cake. Don't worry, it won't ruin it. It'll just help the syrup absorb a little faster. You want to add your syrup slowly so that you don't make a mess, and just give it time to soak into the sponge. Your syrup really has so much flavor in it, and this is what is going to make our cake so nice and moist and sticky and just delicious. And we really want to be patient with this. We don't want to rush it. As you can see, it's already soaked up so much of that juice. And boy, does it look delicious with that color and that shine. So our Mulva pudding is done and ready to eat. I'm so excited because this is a childhood favorite of mine and I just want to eat it the whole time. So I can stop being patient now. I can finally eat it. Oh, wow. That looks great. Most South Africans grew up having this as a staple dessert in their households, and it really is there for a reason. This has come out so nicely. Suddenly sitting with my family around the pool, enjoying dessert after a lovely meal, and most South Africans will eat their Mulva pudding with custard, which is why I've lathered mine with custard. But it's great on its own, and it's also just with custard as well. If you'd like to see me make custard, leave a comment below. Maybe we can make something a little bit interesting. Let's see if you guys can come up with some good ideas. And if you haven't yet, hit the like button and subscribe. And ring the bell. That way you'll get notified every time I release a video. If you'd like to see another traditional South African dessert, watch this video next. Stay delicious, beautiful people. Bye. Oh yes, please.